Hey, Joseph, what's going on?
Hey, we're doing a podcast.
Oh, we are? I didn't even put on my makeup.
It's a Toonwerks podcast. Put some pants on.
Fine.
And we're going to talk briefly about what Toonwerks has been up to.
Or what we've not been up to.
Well, we've been up to quite a bit.
We have.
But first, let's talk about who is not joining us, which is Casey McDonald.
Casey McDonald. Obviously, Chris Bow isn't here right now. But
yeah. I keep forgetting he's a part of Toonwerks.
We never get him on these things because he's got such a different schedule than us.
Yeah, he's always like dungeoneering at medieval times. He's like the dungeon master character.
He is.
He's a dungeon master.
He does master.
So you think I would have said that just because we were repeating a joke from our first attempt at this podcast, but I actually did forget.
In all seriousness, Casey is no longer with the Toonwerks.
Yep, you might have read it on our Facebook or his Twitter account. There's a bunch of different reasons. Long story short, he's kind of wanted to do his own thing and not be like tangled up in other people's schedules or like their way of doing things. Because as good as the Wonders episodes were, like Mark and Casey's like style and storytelling and like how stuff should look really did clash a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's generally because I've got more. We both have a cinematic style of doing this stuff, but I guess because I was generally at the helm of the episodes because I was doing the actual animation, so I was kind of calling a lot of the shots, not all of them, and not dictatorshiply, but it was more or less most of the things were my vision rather than his.
Yeah, because like since Mark and Chris Bow was like handling the way stuff should look, it didn't always gel with the way he thought it was, and since he was the one drawing a lot of stuff, like the backgrounds, like sometimes like he just didn't want to deal with any of that. But like I said, there was a lot of reasons, but like mainly he just kind of wanted to do his own thing and get away from the team mentality for a little bit.
Yeah, he needed a break essentially.
Yeah, so we're still on good terms.
No ill will towards him, not any more than we used to have.
Well, I mean, like me and Casey did some podcasts recently, so I mean, there's no ill will. Like, I don't know.
Did you have were they passive aggressive podcasts?
Yeah, I was like, so Casey, what do you think of this World of Warcraft? You traitorous little son of a... But yeah, if you want to keep up with Casey, it's what he's doing. His Twitter is Casey484, and he usually
is there an underscore in it? I always forget if there's an underscore in it.
And he posts stuff on his like new series called Toll of the Lost, which is like a fantasy thing, a little bit in the same vein as Legends of the Black Book was, but like a lot more complicated.
Yeah, he's from what I gather, he's trying to make it more of a science fantasy kind of genre mix. So hopefully it works out. Don't know. He's done a couple of initial character designs and some little bit of tests and a beautiful background or two. And he'll be much more. His background art is more suited for these big, vast exteriors than most of the interiors that we did. So lots of room for clouds.
And I know he's making a new YouTube channel and stuff for this stuff, and you can see him streaming on a Twitch TV/Indun, INDUN, or is it EN? INDUIN, Induin.
Right. I don't know, Casey. If you're listening, you correct us.
Yeah, that was the name of his World of Warcraft character.
Yeah.
When he started streaming, and he's kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Look up Casey Mobile; it should be there too.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's why Casey is no longer working with us. The door is open. He said he might want to like actually do Wonders of the Universe episode 6 sometime down the road. But as we're about to talk about, like me and Mark are kind of busy with other stuff. So we're not quite sure if and when that will ever happen. Yes, let's talk about Wonders, and apologize for not really following through on all the stuff we promised. Because, like, right after our episode 5 podcast, when, like, all of this kind of started with Casey, we were saying, we have plans for the next 5 episodes. It's going to be a story arc. And it may take a while, but, it may take a while, but, let's do this. We have ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically had an entire story arc planned out for essentially a season 2, and it was going to be a lot more kind of like how Doctor Who always has their arc that they start in the first episode of the season, and then it finally concludes in the finale. It was going to be something like that, although not as ambitious.
Yeah, and probably only be like a 2-part arc. But yeah, like right after we made that podcast saying, "Hey, we're not going to let you guys down," Casey decided to leave, and we're going to have to let you all down. So
blame Casey. No.
Yep. We did have a couple of Wonders things in development, but those will not continue. We had one short that I was working on, but like in the middle of it, we started working on Lloyd, which we're about to talk about.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yes. And I do want to expand a little bit more on Wonders before we go into that.
Okay.
But,
well, I wasn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wasn't going to yet.
I'm sorry. I thought you were segueing us.
Well, we had a few things in the works, but they're not going to continue. And we had the episode 6 script almost complete, but that also was a point of contention between Mark and Casey.
We had some shorts in the works, some even before Casey was considering not leaving Toonwerks. Excuse me. Unfortunately, those won't be released. We still have audio. We might just release the audio, and I even had the start of we were going to do the Speakeasy episode, and I had written I think like the opening scene of that, the cold open for that, and so we might have some scripts we'll post and we'll see. We'll have to figure it out in the future. See,
and I think
how much we want to give away. We'll probably go ahead.
I think sometime down the line we will have everyone on and just talk about what would have happened in Wonders.
Yeah, because we really liked the story arc that we came up with, and we wanted to. We'll eventually tell you guys about it in one way or another. Maybe we'll do comics. I don't know. Joseph's a comic maker.
Oh yeah, like I do want to start putting Wonders in my Ark and Kerrigan, like not in Ark and Kerrigan, but in my LegendaryFrog.com comics. So. Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe we should do a Lloyd comic. Talk to Brad about that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a very different tone than what my website is. It's like when I put Lloyd on my website, I had to put disclaimers saying like this series is rated mature.
For mild mentions of sexual intercourse between humanoid cats.
So in another podcast, we're going to talk about with Brad Jones about Lloyd. We won't talk about how it all came to be here, but for the foreseeable future, me, Mark, and Chris, and everyone else involved, which have a new background guy, obviously. Yeah,
Grant Woolley's our background guy. Pierce Haquard, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's still, I don't know if it's a quard or a card. He's still doing music for us. We actually had a communication mishap with the first episode, but we were lucky enough to get that resolved, and he managed to get.
We also didn't have his music in there because he never got the email saying, "Hey, we need this music in the next couple of weeks." Yeah.
But luckily that all got resolved.
We'll get into all of that. But Lloyd is a series that we're working on with Brad Jones. He's the Cinema Snob. He's an online reviewer who reviews like bad, like not made for TV, just like
exploitation, sexploitation, bad pornos, things like that. A mature thing as a Roger Ebert-esque high art cinema film critic,
a cinema snob, if you will.
Yes.
And
is that where you got the name from?
And this cartoon is based on one of his cats, who in the cartoon is a cat detective. And if you go to his website, thecinemasnob.com, we've released the first episode.
Yes, he's also on Channel Awesome, part of that guy with the glasses. So there, I believe it went. Yeah, it did go up on Channel Awesome the other day. So. It's on their website as well, which I think channelawesome.com. That's all. And since he just flipped over from Blip, it will. It's on his Brad Jones's YouTube channel, which I believe is Stone Gremlin Productions or something like that. I forget exactly. We'll figure that out.
And we'll have our usual commentary and podcast with all that.
Yeah,
And,
we might be able to get our commentary. We were originally just going to do it as voice and then release that so you can sync it up yourself, but we might be able to put our voice over video.
We might be able to put this on Newgrounds
yeah.
now that Blip isn't a factor, but we'll have to talk about
it still depends on the contracts. I think it was trying to be a thing. But we'll talk about that offline.
See, like, we're forgetting this is a podcast and just having a conversation.
This is the first time we've talked in 6 years.
Yeah, so Lloyd episode 1 is out. I know Brad is getting the script for part 2 pretty soon, and I'm starting to do some artwork and stuff for it. And I don't think there's going to be as big as a delay in part 2 because a lot of the art assets are done. We won't have to find a new background guy halfway through.
That was the other thing, is that Grant was for like the first 2 weeks he's joining up. He had some I guess family or personal issues, and he wasn't able to work on the background. So we were still rushing on that stuff at the end too.
So I imagine
it came out really well though.
Imagine part 2 will probably be done by the end of the year, but no promises, I guess.
I still want to get down to a 2 to 3 month.
Yeah.
Kind of thing on it, depending on how long it is.
If episode 2 isn't as long as episode 1, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
Plus, like we mentioned, a lot of the artwork will be done. The background's already be done.
I've got a sense of how to animate the characters now. I will probably, like last time I was going to cut down on the animation style just to do more like strong poses and keyframes rather than the smooth ultra tweening that I do. I might do that for episode 2 instead of episode 1.
Yeah,
we'll find out. We'll see.
Because I thought you were supposed to do that for episode 1.
I was supposed to, but then I was like, these characters are really easy to animate. I'm doing it normally.
Yeah, if they're easy enough, then...
Yeah.
We'll see, though.
Yep.
But also, I've announced this on my Facebook and stuff, but,
You're pregnant?
I'm pregnant, Mark. Guess who the father is?
Is it Casey?
Even though he left, I just can't quit him. Okay, moving on. Me and Mark and Chris Bow are making a new Ark and Kerrigan movie. Yay! We don't know if it's Toonwerks, even though everyone involved in it from Toonwerks is probably going to do it. But
we're still in early stages. So.
Yeah. So I'm not ready to talk a whole bunch about it yet. It's definitely a different format than somewhat the older tunes. It's not going to be almost entirely based on like pop culture references and stuff like that, which actually made it kind of difficult to figure out what I want to write about.
Yeah,
but
no more Hamtaros being beat.
Yeah, no more Hamtaros. You know that 15-year-old anime cartoon.
Yes.
But
look it up, kids.
We'll talk about it more, and I'll probably start putting previews probably on my Patreon page for a while. Try to get that thing going some more.
Did you know Joseph has a Patreon page?
Yeah, no one else does.
Oh.
There's a few very generous people that do. Including you, which is weird.
Yes.
It's weird that you're helping fund the thing that you're helping fund the stuff that you're making.
This is true. I'm also helping fund Cinema Stobs, or Brad Jones is.
Well, isn't that just to like get behind the scenes access to his stuff?
A little bit, but I do like it. I do like it stuff. Yeah. So I'm not in the $15 tier or anything. Whatever the first tier for all the pre-release stuff.
Yeah, because like when our stuff was being put up on his Patreon, I was like, I really want to see what it is, so see what it looks like, but I have to pay like $10, and I'm the one making it. We're the one making it. So yeah, the new Ark and Kerrigan is still in. It's like we finished the script, but I think there's still going to be some tweaking once we get storyboards and voices in.
Yeah, we want to do a little bit of condensing. So.
Even today, I was at work. I was in the script, like tweaking lines. So we'll see about that. It's going to be a different kind of flavor than the old stuff. While hopefully, kind of keeping the characters.
Ark and Kerrigan work on a cruise ship in space.
Yeah, and one is happy with his job, and one is not. But we'll get into more of that. If you check out like my Facebook and stuff, you'll see artwork.
You might get and you might get previews on the Patreon page.
Well, like obviously, like the comics use the same models and all that. So
yeah.
And I have another thing that I'm in the pre-planning stages of, which I will not be talking about on this podcast.
I don't even know what this is.
Yes, you do.
Do I? Yeah. Have I forgotten already?
It
Am
is
I that
comic
bad of a
related.
friend?
It is comic related.
I've already forgotten. I can't remember.
Okay. It may not appeal to you, but it's something that's been in my head for a while, and I'll go crazy if I don't at least see how it looks. So what are you working on, Mark?
I will be learning a little bit more technology. I want to start using, after I visited Canada recently, visited our arch nemesis Gherkin Man and his girlfriend Moongard Demir. And I actually went to work with him because he works in an animation studio, and he was kind of showing me some of the stuff he's working on. He's working on a series for Netflix, which is pretty cool. But he does a bunch of like cleanup and not cleanup, but extra little effects and other
like
things.
An animated
After
show?
Effects. Yes, it's
Is it a BoJack Horseman?
No.
Is it Turbo?
No. It's something new.
Something that hasn't been released yet?
Yeah, no, it has been released. But I was basically seeing.
Oh, so you have inside information?
Possibly.
Ooh, is it Orange is the New Black, the animated series?
It's. I was going to think. Is
it the House of Cards anime?
It's Titanic, the anime.
Netflix.com.
Anyway, he was showing me some of the stuff he was doing in After Effects, adding little effects. Like he was doing some of the easier stuff while I was there. So it was like adding lighting effects and gradient shading and things like that are in After Effects. And it was like he basically finally convinced me. It was like I should probably start looking to see if we can make some things easier. Probably won't, I don't know if I'll start using it in all the stuff. It's not absolutely necessary, but it is a nice little thing.
Well, we were talking about some of the Ark and Kerrigan stuff, and like the effects you were talking about would fit in there. So,
yeah, definitely.
So we'll probably see over that.
I also want to take a look at all the new tweening that they have in Flash, which is it's been there for a while, but when they first implemented in I think CS5 maybe. Could have been CS4, but it was like a very not user-friendly interface for the things. Now it's more streamlined. I think it's very similar to keyframing and tweening in Premiere and After Effects, which I understand. So I want to start looking into that, maybe see if I can start adapting that kind of stuff into the...
Well, you can do that on your own time.
Well, I will.
I don't want you experimenting with crazy tweening during during important stuff like Ark and Kerrigan.
I will ease I already ease every tween. Anything that's not floating in space gets an ease.
So
look it up, kids.
Yeah, so I guess that's about it.
Yep.
Lloyd episode 1 is getting very good reception. We'll talk to Brad about that in our next podcast, which I'm not sure when we can schedule everybody.
Yeah, we want to definitely get Chris Bow in there too because he had a lot of input. He's actually the reason we got the job.
Well, you're spoiling the story.
Well, you can cut that out. Just put a big beep over it.
So, yep, Lloyd episode 2 starting soon. Ark and Kerrigan in pre-planning stages. We have to work out a schedule for that. You want to learn some magic tweening software, and Chris Bow is a dungeon master. And
the rest.
Casey McDonald is a traitor, but he's doing his own stuff now.
Yes.
And he plays Tomb Raider a lot.
Remember, if you go to his stream, type in ! fail, and if he gets 2 of those, it's a buzzer, and it's funny.
And he gets startled every single time.
He does.
Alright, so anyway, this is episode 100. So
is it really?
Congratulations us for doing 100th episode. Well, the Toonwerks updates usually don't have an episode. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've only been here since episode 93 or something. I forget when I first joined.
Okay, so technically this isn't episode 100. The Toonwerks updates don't get episode numbers, but I guess the one with Brad will probably be episode 100.
Yeah.
So,
when are you going to update the podcast art?
Never, because it's nostalgic. I mean, what am I going to update it to? I don't know.
You holding a picture of the old art.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. There's not much of a point.
But yes, anyway, check us out on at Toonwerks.net. That'll go to our Toonwerks YouTube channel, which is YouTube whatever channel Toonwerks. Check out Joseph's Patreon.
Yep. Check out patreon.com/legendaryfrog. or legendaryfrog.com for my Ark and Carrion comics, which I try my best to be funny with and update every week. But with all this other stuff, it's more of a every other week thing so far. And
Brad Jones at cinemasnob.com or channelawesome.com, and check out Lloyd.
If you want to go to Colorado to the medieval time near Boulder, then Chris is there. Actually, it's not Boulder. That's where Casey is.
No. That's where Casey. Don't tell where Casey's totally not in Boulder. What?
Yeah, he's not in Boulder. Casey McDonald. Social security number
52669 Boulder Avenue Drive.
All right, guys. See you later.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.